All right, let's see if the kids show up. Let's see if all the cool kids decide to show up and have a donut with us. Yay, we're back. I'm eating a donut now. Because
We needed a comfort donut.
yeah, we need comfort donuts to get through our technical difficulties. So, literally nothing changed. I did nothing different.
No idea.
But here we are.
Yes.
And welcome to House of Wax.
Yes. Where the ambience is
Yes.
always a plastic bag waving in the wind.
Yeah.
It's just the sound.
It's a high end. All right, we need to pop the chat out over here too because we got the Demogorgon. All right, one more
Adjustment.
adjustment. We're back at that. Look at this stupid picture of me. Oh Christ. All right, we're almost back. Everybody says we're back. What's happening, Paul? Let me get in here. I'm gonna get the chat going. Donuts for the win. That's right, Jeff. Now it's right, Terry says. It's donuts. This is what did it. What we did is we summoned
Yeah.
the power of the donuts.
Not everybody knows, but IT people just run on donuts. All they do is just
Right.
carry a donut into a room, and all the technical problems just fix themselves.
Donuts and IT guys.
Yeah.
Or cops and IT guys.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how it all revolves. That's the whole world revolves around a donut.
Yes. That's why it's circle.
Yeah, it keeps going.
Yep. The world is your donut.
The world is your donut.
Yeah.
Then you fall into the hole, the pit of despair.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have despair. All right, what's this? Oh, so Tim that's in the chat asked, what happened at the store, because he saw me at the store last week, and I was like, yeah, we're not doing a live stream. So, we've got a bunch of HVAC work that was getting done in here. There's a bunch of stuff happening in the front. We had a bit of a security issue last week, which we resolved. Not necessarily for us, but it was people behind us had some issues, so we had to kind of scramble, and we created a medieval gate on the side of the building to help ward off evil.
Well, and last Thursday was kind
evil
of just
spirits.
like, we were kind of just going, and there wasn't really, if we'd stopped, it would have killed the momentum on quite a few things that day, so it was just easier to kind of keep moving. But we're back this week, so.
Yeah. So basically, just a bunch of stuff,
Yeah, take
kind
care
of
business.
compiling. Obviously, you can see all this stuff is covered up. Like I said, there's HVAC going on in here, HVAC out there. This week has been pretty busy with electrical work getting done. We infilled the back windows, put up some new siding, got more rack system set up. The shipping center's mostly set up. I have some stuff for the stage here, but it's last on the list.
Yeah, yeah, we'll probably
this
develop
point.
that part of things as we kind of, settle in here, it seems like. That'll be easiest.
And audio's good too. Can you guys hear the fluttering of the,
The plastic,
because we can squash that if we need. And sorry about I'm starving.
yeah, it's been another.
I haven't eaten for like at least 3 hours and
Yeah.
I had a pile of
I haven't
tacos
eaten
and
since the last pile of tacos.
Oh, yeah. And I'm starving. I just need a sugar rush.
Oh, well, yes. We do have to make sure the room is secure, the place is secure before we bring donuts and
Yeah,
donuts and guitars.
yeah. No, we have to secure the donuts in the new facility.
That's how you test to make sure everything's safe for other things, is bring a donut in, and then
We just
as
have,
long as it's safe there, then you're okay. There's a lot of other things that'll be safe there then.
we just drive the International Donut Commission Coalition by the building.
Yeah.
And if none of them
Well, those are the kind
automatically gravitates towards
Yeah.
the building, then we know we're safe.
that's the kind of inspection team I wouldn't mind if we had donut inspectors
That wouldn't be so beer.
instead of wall and wiring inspectors, like just
No.
donut inspectors.
That'd be nice.
Although we need wiring,
And then-
right? Then
Well,
inspectors
we
too,
got-
but yeah.
You gotta, what do you call it? You gotta, if you bring donuts and offer it to the guys, it doesn't hurt.
Right.
But those guys already know those tricks. What else we got? Roadie's in here. Simtree says something about Fred Burfel. I can't see that. Oh.
They're just saying hi to, for.
Oh.
Yeah. Nothing here. Says, will the new building have a permanent taco truck parked outside?
If I had my way,
Yeah,
it certainly
would. So it'll be not permanent, but I'm sure one will appear at various times.
at different events.
Yes.
We're trying to do the best we can to solidify ourselves a proper taco connection.
Yes. We're working our way into the taco community.
Yeah, slowly.
It's an outreach program developed through tasting tacos.
And tortillas.
Yeah, and getting
Tortillas.
strings for cutting said tortillas.
Yeah, tortilla. Yes, we know we're saying it wrong.
It's just
We're
fun.
doing
It's
it
more
on
fun to say tortilla though.
It is. It's like pico de gallo.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the pico de gallo over there? That
Yeah.
stuff's great.
For those tacos and burritos.
Yeah. You got one of them there chicken yardbird quesadillas?
Yeah, quesadillas.
Because those are delicious. But if it was up to me, I would certainly try to get a taco truck. But what's really cool is we are going to have a little setup in the back here with fridge, and we're going to have like a air fryer and heater upper things. So it's going to be pretty good. It's going to smell good in here. And I guess on Sundays will probably be the best days. So if you play your cards right, if anybody's in the Denver area and you're here on a Sunday at 4 and you're not a dick,
Yeah.
you might get some food.
For a second, I thought you were gonna like do Sunday sauce every Sunday, and I was like, then if the shop
just
smells like
can't.
Sunday sauce all the time, I'd be like,
Well,
wouldn't be the worst.
It wouldn't be the worst, but I'd be making bigger and bigger batches of that shit. I know it.
Right.
Because then all of a sudden everybody would be like, "Hey, man,
Can I get a
It's
jar
like-
of that?
yeah, it's like
y'all got
Snoop-
any more of that Sunday sauce?
yeah, it's like Snoop Dogg and Friday. Hey,
Oh,
what
yeah.
y'all munching on? God damn, scavenger." But yeah, so all right, what else we got here? So anyway, obviously I don't really have a topic for today, maybe except for how to not be a technological dolt on your iPhone.
Oh yeah.
But so we figured we'd just hang out with you guys for a little bit, shoot the breeze, tell you what's going on. Maybe we'll pick up a topic on the way, but make sure you guys are asking us some questions here so we can kind of just roll with that because it's been a rough morning already. Yeah.
I feel like generally lately obviously it's always pedals with us, but it seems like with the Duke of Tone and even the Timmy, it seems like the theme of choice lately with a lot of discussions is
mass-produced.
Mass-produced versus boutique versus even some of the more, because there are boutique builders now that are borderline mass-produced, but I still feel like they don't hit, because like even Earthquaker, they're capable of producing on the same scale as a lot of these other companies, but I don't feel like they're necessarily at like the same, because like everybody's owned an Electro-Harmonix, everybody's owned a MXR, everybody's owned a Dunlop or a Boss. Not everybody's owned an Earthquaker, or not everybody's owned a Walrus, even though they're in that mix now, or even JHS.
Well, JHS, yeah, but I would still put them as
I guess what defines
upper
boutique?
tiered, an upper tiered boutique
Yeah, yes.
company at this point, because it's at some point a boutique company's gonna get big. Boss was boutique at one point, I'm sure.
Well, it is, and it is kind of like what is
But-
I don't think the community's ever really agreed what is the cutoff for boutique versus mass
10 years,
produced.
15 years?
Well,
Is it a time
time?
frame? Is it?
Or is it number of products sold? Is it number? Yeah.
We don't know that.
Right.
That's a data point that we don't have. I don't know how many pedals JHS sold. Probably a gajillion.
Well, no, I go off, for my estimates, I go off of cereals when it comes to, well, Earthquaker would be
Cracker
one.
Jack, like what? Like Captain Crunch?
Yeah. Depending on the
I usually
cereal,
ask the captain,
I use a cereal to milk ratio for each company, but no, the Earthquaker, their cereal numbers all are cumulative. So like as they go along with like the Afterneath, the serial number on that has just continued on.
Yeah.
So now it's at like 14,000 something. So because they've sold 14,000 of them. So like certain companies are easier to figure that out. But like when even like with Full Tone going down, Full Tone I wouldn't have considered a boutique company, but
See, I
at the
guess
same time, like Earthquaker might technically produce more than they do now. I don't know, or
Well,
well, did
they
they definitely
definitely
do now,
have.
but did you know what I mean? Like if you were to match up,
I think Full Tone was part of a different wave of boutique, though.
well,
And
kind of
he's
the
been
first,
around,
yeah,
yeah, been around a long time. But I think
kind
at
of the
some
first gen of some
yeah,
boutique, yeah.
yeah, but I think at some point those, if they don't continue to get bigger, then obviously if you're not growing, you're going the other way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so if, at some point I think Full Tone plateaued probably, and then started going the other way.
Yeah.
Started going downhill. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Like
because
that-
it's one of those
but at
things
what
like
point
they
does-
surged when they got in, you know, when they became synonymous with GC, like Full Tone specifically, became synonymous with GC. They did kind of go up for a bit, but they got to a point where I felt like most people, even customers that were coming in, you know, like 5, 6 years ago, most customers did not consider Full Tone boutique any longer after that point. Whereas like Earthquaker, even though they are distributed by bigger companies now, I still don't feel like they've ever, they're not, like to me, I still think, like you said, high tier boutique. Like they are like probably up in that top, like them and JHS and
when I mean
Walrus are
higher
probably
tier,
in,
I don't mean like, you know,
it's not a quality thing, it's more of
It's
like the size and the
the
time
size of
spent.
the company, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Cause they
a
put in their
company-
time, yeah.
Yeah, because a company like Maris, I think, would still be considered boutique.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
but like Frederick Effects and some of those other ones.
Well, and see, to me, he's like more the definition of true boutique would be like
Yeah,
Frederick
it's
or,
like the 1 or 2 or 3 man operations. To
Right.
me, those are really boutique. But you start getting, like I said, you get bigger and you get the company grows. I mean, at what point does it not become boutique anymore?
right.
I guess maybe when it becomes like a super corporation, but I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. What do we got for
Yeah, let's
questions?
see if
here?
anybody, or that, or if anybody's getting in on that discussion.
Yeah, what do you guys consider boutique? Like, what's boutique to you guys?
Well, and actually, that does kind of go into a few things, cause like, you know, lately, like Ben and some of the other guys have been going on and on about the Halo from Keeley, which actually was kind of a surprise. I thought it was way better than I expected it to be. But that does bring up the thing too of like, there's trends now, I feel like also within pedals, cause like certain pedals will skyrocket. That doesn't mean the whole company goes that way though, you know what I mean? Cause like a
Right.
certain model will just fly all of a sudden, but it doesn't mean all of a sudden that company is no longer boutique, I don't think.
Well, I mean, that's what happened with Full Tone though, too.
True, yeah, like the OCD,
The
yeah.
OCD
yeah.
blew up, and that's
Yeah, and I mean,
that's
now
really what made Full
Made that
Tone
company.
anything. Not like saying that their other stuff wasn't decent or wasn't good. It's just the OCD was the one that made that blew them up.
Yeah,
Kind of like J Rocket. Where you could probably say J Rocket with the Archers.
oh, for sure.
I mean, that
yeah.
was their flagship.
Yeah, yeah.
It probably still is their flagship pedal. So
It is, and yeah, they're, you know, it's funny, they're still a company, like, I don't, you know, yeah, their drives might not all be home runs, but they're all good. Like, they're
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah.
really good. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
one thing across the board, all of their drives, like, they might not all be the most amazing one ever, but most of them are, well, not most, all of them are very good drives.
the
Like, I
Ombre,
think,
the Ombre's good. The
Yeah.
45 is great.
Yeah,
The
the
GTO.
GTO,
I mean, I think it's a company that should be. I mean, I don't know
I think
where
they
they
should
are,
be.
but I think they should be a little bit more.
Well, even the Dude, like, that's another one that should be.
Dude's a great.
I still think after how many years have we been selling that one, I still think that one beats most of the other Dumble style drives out there. Cause it's like, it's 4 knobs, it's dead simple, it's small, and it's not like, you know, $400 or $500. So it's
Right.
like, it's just, it's a good,
Still an affordable pedal that can
Yeah.
that can rock.
alright, so one question we had, where did it go? I just saw it. It was about PRS and their pedals.
PRS got pedals.
There it is. Terry. So he said, did you hear just launched today? PRS has a line of 3 pedals. an optical compressor, a clone, and a dual flanger in one pedal.
What? Okay.
So PRS getting into pedals, yeah.
Well, that makes, so that makes sense to me. Because everybody's got to diversify to some degree. I mean, that's why we're gonna start doing the clog dancing classes here after the first of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, I might not have put a memo out yet on that, just so you know. But
Or
we
is
gotta-
Jim
we gotta-
McGowan doing like the whittle your own clogs in preparation for that? He's doing a clinic
I'm
on how to
working the
whittle.
deal.
Yeah.
We're currently in negotiations. We just gotta find the right wood supplier.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, tone woods, you can only make clogs out of the right tone
Yeah,
woods.
swamp ash,
Yeah.
swamp ash clogs. Okay, so, doesn't surprise me that they're getting into pedals. What would surprise me is why an optical compressor? And why a dual flanger? I understand an overdrive, but why a dual flanger and then why an optical compressor?
So optical compressor is so you can be all fancy and be like, hey, this is analog and it's optical, and optical's not overly done yet. So that would be, cause like right now the Warden and even Strymon, they got rid of their optical compressor. So right now that market is a little smaller for optical. I'm still not a compressor person, but that's the reason I would give if somebody, I guess, asked me. The other one would be the flanger.
Is there a resurgence?
Like a month or two,
flanging?
honestly, a month or two ago, I would have sort of written it off, but when we were going through that Thin Lizzy stuff, I, for whatever reason, started looking into when was the first flanger. And most of that stuff in the early 70s, because it didn't exist when pedals were around, was all tape flange. So one reason I could see for a dual flanger would be kind of cool to have one setting as kind of a tape flange where it's very slight, almost like a phaser. And then have another one as kind of like a crazy trail, 80s flanger.
Like Super 80.
Yeah, full, Eddie Van Halen
Flanger.
versus, basically go from a cool, early, late 60s, early 70s tape flange, and then have another setting that's more, full on Eddie or something.
I still just don't see that the flanger market is that.
It's not, yeah,
That pool is so big that somebody goes, that Paul went, you know what? Flangers.
Maybe it's because
But
not a
then
lot of
maybe-
companies aren't doing flangers, so maybe they're maybe that's not as, but there are still a million companies doing
Not a lot of
flangers,
people are
but-
making octopus pies. That doesn't mean I'm gonna start an octopus pie fucking company tomorrow. You know what I mean? Just because somebody isn't making one, doesn't mean you need to.
Is that gonna
make
go next to
something.
the pumpkin pie shop?
We had a
It's just pumpkin pies and
Just-
an octopus pie.
octopus pie. Yeah. I'm just saying, because just because nobody makes it doesn't mean I gotta make it.
True. But yeah, I mean, I would personally go for the flanger probably over the compressor or the drive at this point.
I would consider a drive. I'd want to see. Drive makes sense to me.
Yeah, but that's kind of like ketchup. Everybody's got to make their own version of
But
ketchup.
yeah, but all the PRS fanboys will be like, "Oh, Paul, your drive is the best."
Well, just put John Mayer's name on it and say it's a TS10 and everybody will buy it. So.
It's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
there's a missed opportunity there.
So yeah, I mean, I do think that's interesting. At the same time, actually going back to Ben's stream with Rob from Diodario the other night, that was interesting because Ben asked him why Diodario hasn't gotten more into the pedal market, and his answer to that was they still see utility things that haven't been addressed, and they feel like everybody's already on the pedal game, so they feel like they don't need to get into it beyond the tuner.
And that makes to me that makes 100% sense. Because they make a good tuner.
Well, and they're
And
kind of, I think they're of the mind, stay in their lane kind of a thing.
Yeah, and they do accessories.
yeah.
Do accessories and
For
do
PRS,
well.
they already do amps that have already done okay, so it's it makes sense to go ahead and have your own set of pedals too. And to be honest too, I don't know what price range they're in. Ever since JHS did the 3 Series though, I feel like a lot of companies are looking at that as a market to get into, because Catalan Bread's trying to do it.
And so is Wampler.
So is Wampler, yeah, and so is
So what you're
Well,
telling
yeah.
me is you guys could have made cheaper shit all along?
right. And
Because you know you're going to have that crowd too.
Yes.
They could have made cheaper stuff all along. Man, look at me.
Yeah.
But because you're going to get the criers.
Well, yeah, but I think it is an interesting point though that this whole like regular model, deluxe model thing could almost start becoming the thing, because like if you can start doing even kind of the nobles, like the ODR1,
Yeah.
if you can have like a mini regular version and then have the full on version, like that's not the worst thing. And a lot of these
Well,
companies
because-
are dipping into that, like, hey, can we get a pedal that's around $100 or like
Yeah,
130 bucks?
120, 125 bucks.
'Cause
Well,
peop-
it's not a bad, like you're saying, it's not a bad move.
Yeah.
Because like, I know for me, there are certain pedals that I only use one thing, or I only have maybe two settings.
Right.
I don't need all the other shit. It just is there, but I don't like it, or I don't need it. So it makes sense to have a light version and then the more comprehensive version or whatever you.
Yes.
Well, look at Strymon right now with the, their legacy kind of pedals
Yeah, versus the V2s.
versus their next generation
Yeah.
V2s.
Well, yeah, because really, like, if you get the main, like the regular version, still a great pedal. The Deco, for instance, but for like another $50 or something, you can basically get, 100 versions of that pedal. Because
Right.
like that is one pedal for sure. Like the Deco probably got the biggest, or I feel like got the biggest facelift out of the group, because it was one of the pedals that everybody sort of, I don't want to say they undervalue, but they kind of overlook it because it can do a lot of amazing things. But if you had presets, you could just dial all of those
Yeah,
in and not have to sacrifice one for the other.
Right. And maybe that's worth the extra dough.
Yeah, well, yeah, for somebody that has the ability to take advantage, that's not a lot extra. But
So we never addressed your first question though.
oh yeah, what was it? Oh, I don't even remember now.
The mass produce.
Oh yes, mass produced versus.
Well, I'm surprised I even remembered it.
No, that is, yeah, well, no, that was kind of what instigated it. I mean, I can't see there being anything wrong with it, because I mean, to me, like, if it's all dialing in to a specific circuit, and you're more or less buying, I mean, it would just be more of the same difference you would get between, like, mass-produced Squires and made in Mexico versus, like, a custom shop. Like, with a custom shop, you're ordering, you're specific, not that you're paying that price difference isn't there, but you're paying for, like, one single builder to follow your guitar from beginning to end. It's a single builder, more attention to detail, probably more choice parts and more choice woods. I think pedals are kind of getting into that same thing. If you have the mass-produced, like,
You could have
it's not like,
you could have one of the big boys just make it.
right,
They're
yeah.
gonna make a bunch of money, and so are they. And it seems like
Well, if
win,
it's
a bit of a
something,
win-win on a business side of things.
yeah, and if it's something that you're already prepared to, not really mass-produce, but it's like the Prince of Tone was not one that was, as coveted as like the King of Tone. So it's like that one, they were already borderline for them, they were already sort of mass producing it. So it's like you may as well at that point, like you said, just go for it, kind of clock out on that and refocus on the other part of it that is your boutique side.
It's probably like getting free money.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like you just contract it out, they make it, you take a percentage, and you never have to mess with it
You
ever
don't do
again.
shit, right?
Yeah.
Like the Paul Cocker and Timmy.
Yeah,
I
exactly,
mean, I
yeah.
bet you Paul's just making some money getting mailbox money right now.
Yeah, but in terms of like, as an end user, I think that's just a choice. Like, yeah, you could go for the more boutique one because it means more to you, and or, maybe there's a slight difference that is enough for you to go spring for.
Yeah,
'Cause,
but
it's
it's
like,
also, there's an affordability factor on the mass produced stuff.
yeah,
Is that's gonna clock in at $150. That's gonna be at least more affordable than 2 or 2 plus.
yeah.
Well, I don't even know what the
Well, it's
Prince of Tone is
arguably,
even going for at this point.
it's arguably more consistent too.
I was just.
Because
that was
like you
another
could go
point.
anywhere and get, if yours broke, you could go anywhere and hopefully get one, which would be kind of nice. So I mean, I could see that, like, because that would be one thing. There's like a couple boutique pedals I have that if they ever broke, I'd be pretty crushed. Whereas like if you had a
Good
Prince
thing
of,
that's why we got Chuck.
yeah, I was gonna say, whereas if you had a Prince of Tone or a Timmy at this point now, like if it got broken, like yeah, that sucks. But you can go get another one and it's gonna sound just like the one you just had. So
Well, and going along with the Prince of Tone thing, I think that Dunlop or MXR is gonna be doing a collaboration with Guitar Center
oh yeah,
and basically making the OCD.
yeah, yeah. I mean that seemed like that was the first thing that was up for grabs when
Yeah,
people
but I
toned it
mean, he
down.
was talking about that, I know how to keep my patents and I'm gonna take all my shit and move to Nashville. Okay, Mike, you knock yourself out.
Fuck you guys, I'm going home. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is.
Basically, but I think that he was mentioning that, he knows how to keep his company so patents or whatever, things don't fall off.
There's intellectual property and all that.
Yeah, I don't really give much of a fuck.
Yeah, but again, it's just like kind of like we just said. It'd be 10 times easier to be like, all right, I'm not doing this part of it. You guys can have that. Give me my 20%.
I mean,
And-
at that point, yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Dunlop, you wanna make my OCD, you could put it out just like the Prince of Tone.
Right.
Or the King of Tone, and just like Timmy.
Yeah.
And you could just make mailbox money, and maybe he could buy another few acres and put more of his expensive shit on it.
Yeah, more things to write angry letters about.
Right. I'm gonna have a press release tomorrow and call all you people assholes and just,
Right, yeah.
just let you know we're going out of business.
Then I'm gonna
and
be
you guys
really
can all
shocked
go
when you
fuck
guys are offended
yourselves.
by that. Yeah.
I just still find that a very funny way to go out.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, Terry also was kind of going along with what we were saying in terms of the PRS stuff, is that Victory is also, which they'd already dipped into amps, or not amps, they've already dipped into pedals because they did preamps based
Yeah,
on it.
yeah, I mean,
Which this
Victory
is just the
makes
next,
sense.
yeah, this is just the next. And honestly, I would say any amp company, 100% makes sense that you would make pedals, because I think
Oh,
Rev,
absolutely.
like Rev has shown that that can be an amazing way to market your stuff, and then also an amazing way for people to choose what they want, because you
Well,
get
you can
like a
also
D,
get that Rev flavor.
Right.
You can get the purple channel for $230 instead of having to buy
yeah,
the whole damn amplifier.
right. Well, and even, like the G4, like, I mean, that, arguably through the right amp, that thing sounds just like the real thing. So, I mean, if you have something with the headroom to handle it, it's a way cheaper option.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think any amp company, like, I don't want to say
That
it's,
totally makes sense.
yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense, and I don't want to say it would be dumb not to, but I feel like at this point, it sort of would be silly not to get into that.
If a company like Kaiser started making pedals, maybe I go, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've already seen it. We've seen we've seen Moore and Donner and all the
the Amazon
and all
garbage,
the Amazon
yeah.
basic.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff Bezos reverb.
Right.
Dick Rocket reverb.
If they would just straight up
yeah.
lay into that, that would
Just-
actually probably work.
Lean into it, Amazon. Lean
Yeah.
into Jeff's Dick Rocket.
Yeah. Just use that for all of your marketing and just own it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dick Rocket.
It's not
Dick
like
Rocket
anybody's not already
kitchenware.
saying that.
Try out our new Dick Rocket laundry detergent. It'll clean. It'll clean. Yeah, it's just going south.
Yes. Oh yeah, Terry, or not Terry, sorry, Pat was kind of bringing up a question along with Terry, not a question, but comment about Dark Glass
Dark
being,
Glass,
yeah,
yeah.
they would be another, company that 100%, like their amps and their pedals are in their own classes, they're equally as
Yeah.
good. Like
And
their
their-
pedals are amazing.
And their cabs too.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
can't discount that.
Yeah.
I mean, their stuff is pretty awesome. I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of the Dark Glass stuff.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
Also,
so
while you guys are out there, hit the like button, please.
yes.
Except for the one guy that gave us a thumb downs last week. Probably because he was the guy that actually sucked the guitar and felt like we were personally attacking him.
That or he like fell asleep on the pot and just like bam,
He might
his
have.
forehead hit it on the way down.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, hit the thumbs up if you want to. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Okay, so actually nothing here gave us the prices on those PRS pedals. That's actually kind of high.
What are
So
they?
the overdrive is going to be $250, the compressor is going to be $219, and the flanger is going to be $350.
$350 for a flanger? Sorry, Paul.
Well, no, but see that actually goes.
Oh,
that,
it's a dual flanger.
Yeah, but to come back to what you were saying, 100% like now, because like if I was trying to sell that, that would be a hard sell.
$350 for a
For a flanger, that would be a really tough sell. Whereas like, well, even honestly, even though.
Hey, Paulie, listen to me for a second here, Paulie. Listen, your flanger's fucking full of shit. $350, nobody's gonna buy it. And he's gonna go.
Well, I mean, some people are, but it's gonna
This
also.
is the greatest
alien-
flanger
yeah.
we've ever had. People have been talking about it. It's possibly the best flanger ever.
Well, it's like the pyramids from Earthquake. I don't even think it's 350, is it?
No.
Yeah, and I mean that one, like, if you were gonna have a flanger, I mean, that thing's a.
That's yeah. I'm not a big.
Again, yeah, I don't think either of us are.
$350,
Yeah.
I think is pretty.
That's up there.
I mean, that's heavy duty for a flanger.
Yeah.
You know, we're starting to see the pedal, market hit, you know, that 220 mark for pedals now because everything's gone up.
Right.
So, I mean, that seems to be more of a newer standard-ish. But 350,
Well,
that's in Strymon territory.
Well, it is, and even with the made in USA thing, like that's still a lot to ask for somebody to. I mean, granted, it could end up being really cool, but you're coming out the gate kind of heavy on that, I think. But
I think it's 3 odd pedal. Well, overdrive seems right. Compressor and a dual flanger just seems odd to me.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And especially at 350,
yes,
that's
I
going to
agree.
be a tough sell.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a tough sell for us because we don't sell PRS.
Oh yeah, Jacob and the Ghost said, "Did you expect Paul to make a cheap pedal?" He said they will do a SE version in a year or two. That would actually be hilarious, but if there was SE versions of their pedals,
But he's got a very good point. You got a very good point. I don't expect him to put out something inexpensive, but I also don't expect him to put out something at over $300.
well, yeah, because they come out
That
like
just doesn't
like
make
if
sense.
yeah, if Strymon is currently setting the like the upper bracket, because I feel like they kind of are. They're kind of
Then
defining that.
Maris is also up in that.
Yeah, but they're kind of defining that what you should expect for that price range, more or less. So it's like if it's on par with them, then that'd be cool. Like if it's a MIDI capable flanger, that could be kind of cool. But if it's not, like if it's just literally 2 settings on the same thing next to each other, and it's 350, that seems like a mistake. But.
We'll have to look into that. Like I said, I just find it to be an odd choice.
Well, again, too, like if you
Stuff.
can't, yeah.
But maybe that goes along with, maybe the optical compressor. I mean, I would see more like an envelope filter. Because at John Mayer, you could tie all that all in, you know what I'm
that's
saying?
actually-
You can kind of tie that shit
That would have been
together.
do like a nice sleek version of the Qtron kind of thing. That'd be kind of,
Yeah.
that'd be a cool, yeah.
And I'm not saying that other people don't play PRSs, obviously, but John.
Well, no, but he's like,
And
the
that's
big-
something
yeah,
that
he's-
could,
Yeah, he's the biggest artist they've ever had and arguably might ever have, but.
I mean, Santana's still.
Yeah,
still
well, yeah,
holds
but
some
for
weight.
the younger crowd right
the
now,
younger
for like
crowd,
the current
yes.
crowd, John Mayer is like as big as it's probably gonna get for a stretch, but.
Oh, yeah, I'd agree.
Cause yeah, I mean Santana, I mean really he was, well actually I think Tremonti was their first technical artist, cause Santana was after, but even then I still think more people now know of PRS because of Mayer than those two, unfortunately.
Is what it is.
Well, no,
But
because
just
I mean
find it-
Santana's he's the one that made me even look into PRS just to see what it was even about. Because I was like, if he's gonna move over from what he was playing, a lot of his
He's
Gibson
basically-
stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was just saying for him to move over, I figured they had to be pretty solid. But
The Mira, that's the only one I really felt like I liked. Not that I played all of them, but the Mira was probably the one that
oh yeah,
I could certainly get into if I
Yeah.
had to.
for sure.
What do we got for questions, man?
Let me see, because I feel like I missed one, but maybe not.
I just can't read it that far.
It's all right. I mean, even
I
for
can
me, this
barely.
is a little far,
right
but
about here, I'm good. Wait a minute, hold on. Octopus pie?
perfect new octave foot. That actually.
That might not, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is a good idea.
You know what would be good?
Hmm.
Kind of an underwatery thing, and then we call it the Octopus Garden. Kind of like the Beatles tune.
Oh, yeah, but
Because
octopi
that
or
was
octa,
part
yeah,
of, that was part of this, the
Well,
other
yeah.
submarine thing.
yeah. But is there a fuzz on that?
Doesn't matter. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, come on, coffee, kick in.
Let's see. Well, no, it's mostly kind of everybody commenting on that. I mean, really, that.
Dick Rocket Reverb, see? Shaped like the rock. I think we can make.
Oh,
I
that
think we
was,
can make our own. We should.
I saw the question there. What shit? It's gone again.
Okay.
It was about the new Walrus Eons.
Oh yeah. Very,
Which-
very nice.
Which I think I made live this morning because ours took a few days to get in, but we have them now. So yeah, the question is the Eons from Walrus, which is their new fuzz pedal. If you guys haven't checked it out, is that the new ultimate kind of fuzz? And to be honest, I tried it and I wasn't expecting anything, and I was actually kind of blown away personally. Because it's kind of funny, like with the Demogorgon, I ended up putting the Demogorgon before it, so I was able to also see what it would sound like as an octave fuzz. So paired with the Demogorgon, you almost don't need any other.
That's it.
Yeah, because like it literally did all of the other stuff that the Demogorgon doesn't, but the Demogorgon still does what it does best. But it's like that fuzz literally did every single other fuzz that you would want. So like just those two, you could probably cover all your fuzz, because having an octave that you could add to that too, then you can have an octave setting on each one of those 5 modes. So it's like those 2 pedals together are a hell of a combo.
Choice.
But yeah, but no, I was surprised because Gordo, which usually he doesn't
Gordo
say.
seemed like he was pretty impressed.
He was, and the fact too that he was saying that he thought I would have a hard time like not being, impressed by her, like that was more interesting to me because usually he doesn't get that specific unless he's like, this is really cool. But yeah, it has a voltage starve on it, so I mean, like yeah, it's a 5-mode fuzz, but honestly, it's you could do anything with it in terms of fuzzes.
And from what I heard, I haven't played it yet, just haven't had a chance. But from what I've heard from the guys playing it, it sounds pretty damn good.
Well, yeah, there's this one mode, I think it was either 2 or 3, I can't remember. It's the one that they sell as like the darker mode. Not quite Big Muff, like it's honestly even a little darker than that. But if you do the voltage starve and then you add the treble, you start getting these almost kind of octavey bits, not quite, but just kind of these interesting harmonics. And it just ends up having this huge, just crushing sound. Like, it was just, I don't know, it was hard to describe, but it was like very, very textured, but it still had all that raspy, kind of like when Gary Clark uses like some of his fuzz stuff. It kind of did that, like it did that raspy, blown out fuzz, but you could also do like a million other things with it.
So there you go. Pair him up with a Demogorgon Deluxe, right? That's what you pair him up with?
Yeah, because I think having that, because then you basically turn the eons into an octave fuzz as well. So it's like then it really is ultimate, because it can
We
kind
got
of.
a used one.
Yeah, we do actually right now.
Actually, I gotta get one for myself, but I know Matt's got extras, so I can.
But yeah,
I can always get another one. So
you can certainly get like fuzz right tones out of it. You can get fuzz face tones out of it because it has one mode that does that is germanium clipping. So as you roll your volume back, it does the whole fuzz face thing. And then there's this other mode that I've never played on a fuzz before. It's three clipping modes all activated at the same time. So like usually when you have fuzzes, like you might have, you might at the most get, 2 sets of clipping where you would kind of go bounce between. But to activate all 3, it basically ups the compression, ups the gain, but then you end up having this like fuzz tone I've just never quite heard before. Almost kind of fuzz distortion-y, but it also, I don't know. It was hard to describe, but it was like a really tight, almost like a fuzzy amp. That's kind of what it felt like. Like it.
I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to take one of those.
Yeah, almost like
we don't sell them out. Oh, what's it? Hold on.
Oh, Aaron just popped in there. Hey, Aaron.
Oh, Albus.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, dude? What's that one right up there? Doc. I can't read who that. Doc still.
Doc Ternan? I can't quite.
Yeah, we got a whole pedal line going right here. The Octopus Pi Octave Fuzz, the Dick Rocket Reverb, and the Donut Power Flange. Boom.
Yeah. We'll get Chuck on it right away.
Yeah. We should just do that.
Dick Rocket honestly, Chuck would love like making one called that.
The
probably,
Dick Rocket.
Just to poke
Dick Rocket Reverb.
Yeah.
Well, we could just put like a picture of Dick Clark on there or something. Or just Jeff Bezos. I mean, it all works out, doesn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, he might like vengefully sue us.
He could fucking own us.
We did a Dick Rocket Reverb, just like, well, it'd be kind of cool if we could make it the shape of the shitty Dick Rocket itself, Not the shitty Dick, you know what I mean, but.
We could figure something out, I'm sure. Speaking of fuzzes and overdrives, though, I was talking with Matt from Stomp On Her Foot. So we're working on maybe doing another exclusive with them that fits into the overdrive territory. Not a tube screamer,
Yes. It's not a tube screamer.
It's not a screamer. I told him not to do it. But I did tell when I was talking to Matt, I was like, yeah, man, no. So whatever we do,
Not a
this is
screamer.
not a tube screamer circuit.
Yeah.
We have to come up with something that's different. So I threw some overdrives at him that I like. And so let's see what we can do with that. So, because he's having great success with the Dire Wolf.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually it's kind of funny. He seems very surprised by that, but
He had a friend that he made that circuit for. And the friend said, dude, this is Jerry fucking Garcia in a box, man. You need to
Yes,
make
yeah.
these. You're going to sell a fortune. And he's like, I fucking hate the Grateful Dead. So Matt is not a fan of the Grateful Dead at all. We were talking the other day, and he goes, I tried to listen to it when I was younger, and I didn't like it. And I tried again when I got a little older. And he goes, even recently, within the last month or so, he goes, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And I go, I understand. I do, and I like the pedal, and it makes a lot of sense. But they're selling a really good amount of those Dire Wolves. And I actually ordered more. I told him, I go, I want more if you got them. I'll
well, to
take
be
them.
honest, like I wasn't 100%. Like I'm not. I guess I wouldn't. It's weird because like I feel like I know Jerry's tone, even though I wouldn't associate it maybe with what. I guess to me, like his tone just sounds like a cranked up, 65 blackface amp.
Yeah,
like
and
it's
that's-
just that's his sound. So to me, like I wouldn't have. Like I don't know that I would equate the difference other than just volume differences. But I gotta say, when we did get the pedal in, because Goots was not happy with it at first. And now he's like super happy with it, but at first he wasn't, and it's because I think we both tried it in like the Blues Deluxe. We didn't try it in like the normal, like in a 65 circuit. And when he did that, I was like, then I could hear it, because even when I heard him doing his noodly Jerry stuff,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that sounds more like what I was thinking it was gonna sound like, because when we first tried it, it was very dark, like really dark. But if you
Right.
put it in a bright amp, it actually did it. And
Changed everything
yeah,
up.
and then
So-
we're like, okay, that makes more sense.
So if you guys are wondering, it's the Dire Wolf by Stomp On Her Foot. Check it out. It's really a cool pedal. We'll have more coming in, but we're going to work on doing an overdrive with him too. I got another idea for an exclusive pedal too. So I'd like to have a few.
Yes.
Because we've done well with the Demogorgon, and it's kind of cool. I like helping him out because he's a good dude.
Well,
And then I like
yeah, I was
just
gonna
being
say,
able to have a really good exclusive pedal for us.
Yeah.
Because the big guys ain't gonna do it.
No, and I think like the more we can do that, the more fun that'll be. Especially too between him and once we get Chuck over here and can start kind of coming up with some stuff. I think it'll be fun because like there's some stuff I want to do with Chuck where it might take some real like R&D where we build a couple and prototype them and kind of see.
Change some
Yeah,
stuff.
like see like what happens if you take this circuit and change some of these parts. Like what does that become? Because like there's a lot of overdrives that I've loved that I wish you could just.
Little spam likely.
Yeah,
Spam
your old
likely.
friend Spam Likely. Yeah.
My old friend Spam Likely's calling me again. Colorado Springs, get a lot of shit from Colorado Springs.
Yes.
All right, what do we got in the chat area? Oh, just so you know, just to recap, Thursdays we go live at 4:00, then followed up by our buddies over at Texas Toast Guitars, the ultimate Colorado Texas Toast guitar builder company. I don't know. That
That didn't flow off the tongue, but
doesn't roll right off, but go check out the guys over at Texas Toast Guitars right after this. And then right after their stream, go check out Dylan Talks Tone, and he will talk tone
yes.
with ye.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, back into some questions. Let's see. Oh, Terry was asking Ike, did you get the Kingfish Telly Deluxe in yet and try it?
I have not gotten the Kingfish Telly Deluxe in yet. I'm
Wasn't
I'm
part-
waiting. So
I was gonna say, wasn't part of that the fact that you were gonna get it after? Wasn't that sort of?
yeah, I was on the list for the second run
Right.
because the way Fender did their whole thing this year with dealers, unless you're a custom shop dealer, you couldn't get anything signature, and that goes all the way down to like the J Masick,
The Squires, yeah.
his Squire Jazzmaster. We couldn't even order those this year, and that was one of a really good guitar for us.
It really was too. Yeah, it was actually probably our best selling single model from
Yeah.
Flyer. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was just like, great, we don't get to sell that anymore. Plus we had a Eric Johnson on order that we couldn't sell either. So anyway, I understand why Fender did it. They're trying to slow down some stuff and catch back up, but I bet you they're caught up now. Because now they're doing fucking sales and shit, but anyway. So, Kingfish, guitar, I wasn't on the short list for the first round, so second one's coming, but I thought it was gonna be here by now.
I guess I did too. But
That's what they said, but
yeah.
I don't know, I just, at this point, I don't even, shit just comes in when it comes in, I don't even care anymore. We've been doing this for 2 years now, of
the weirdness when
who
it comes
knows
to
when
this. Yeah.
something, the roulette wheel of when is it gonna arrive.
Well, I have noticed because we have any of our customers that also run, are in businesses where, they're dealing with inventory, fluctuating inventory. A lot more people have been a lot more understanding, like, the further this goes on.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm at least getting that. It's anybody that maybe doesn't do this stuff that doesn't get it. But I think overall, most people are understanding because it's not just, it's obviously not just us, but
Yeah.
sometimes, because, like, our whole, everything we do kind of still ends up revolving or coming back to the shop. Whether it's going to see a show and then you end up talking about gearing, you're like, oh yeah, we can get that in, but we don't know when. It's like a lot of that shit's just been the way it's been, because like people ask about that all the time. Whether, like, oh, how long would it take for you guys to get this in or this in, and it's like,
that's
sorry,
great.
man,
Well,
we don't, we don't want to set expectations we can't meet.
Right, and we've had that same situation where somebody calls, asks about it, and we tell them, we're like, man, we're not gonna see that until March. That's crazy, man, that's crazy. All right, I'll see what I can do.
Right.
And then they'll call back, all right, I guess I'll order it. I'm like,
Right.
I realize you called Guitar Center, or you called Shitwater, or whatever, and they don't have it either. So,
Right.
it's not like we're making this stuff up like we don't wanna sell you the thing.
Right.
We do, we really do.
Yeah. Well, and just some of it's just, the way they're building things in cycles, it's like, it's if you don't hop on something when you see it, you might have to wait a year to get it. Like, that's just the way things are going right now.
And that's some of the stuff, like, it's funny because we got stuff that's coming in that we've been waiting on, and we'll have it 2 days and it's gone.
Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah, no,
4
that
days,
ratio is
most,
way
and-
off.
Yeah, and it's gone because you could just, that model is already sold out, and we only get like 2 of them,
Yeah.
so. All right, what else we got? We're almost ready to wrap this up too, so.
Let's see. Oh, I guess, Doug Santinello, he was apparently
Doug.
survived a storm. He's down in Florida, so
Yeah.
he survived, Ian, right?
Ian, yes. I'm glad you're safe, man.
Yes.
And all your guitars are safe too.
Yes.
And family apparently.
Yes.
Like,
All whatever
All
priority
of
list
those,
you want
yes.
to put those in for
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah, you can arrange that.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly, yeah.
But we're glad you guys are all right. Everybody's safe and
Yeah.
sound.
Well, and what's crazy is like people, like even, like Kyle who moved to, Nashville, like even in Nashville, they're getting, because of the excess
Oh, yeah,
rain
yeah,
and
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
they're having flood warnings because of Ian, and I'm like, damn, that's a far-reaching storm, so anybody who's in that path of wet destruction heading that way, hopefully you guys are all right.
Hopefully you guys aren't listening to us.
Yeah, that or if you do,
Take care
yeah.
of yourselves and your family.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys are all good. Have backup batteries and backup water and all that
Yes.
shit. Water is a big deal.
Get your flood pants ready and,
Yeah. Get your rubber pants on. Some of you guys just got to pull out the stuff from the 80s and you'll be fine. Quentin James,
Yeah.
you just got to pull out his spandex. He's probably going to stay nice and toasty dry
yeah.
somewhere.
It'll just beat off like a duck.
Yeah. Ooh, wait, he's gonna do what? Maybe I heard that wrong.
I said beat off, like
Oh.
a duck.
Oh, yeah.
No, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that too.
I don't know what kind of documentaries you're watching, bud, but
That's all the natural ones.
he's a quack. It's quacktastic.
Actually, would be funny.
I always wanted to see a blue duck, so I colored him blue.
But yeah, any last minute questions before we call it a day, an evening, or whatever the hell's going on outside right now?
Colorado's still being goofy as shit. It's hot as
Yeah, we've had like
fuck
3
today.
different weather patterns today already.
It was
Yeah.
cold this morning. It was literally cold this morning. Then it got hot and sunny, and then
We had a crazy wind, hurricanes.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had a twister run through town,
Yeah.
and it rained heavy as shit for like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and then now it's hot and sunny again.
Yes.
Go.
So we're on like day number 3 of day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colorado gets crazy with that stuff. So, all right, what do we got? Anybody else in here? Just jumping in Duncan time. We need this to get through the day. That's Jimmy Ray Hawkins. Santinello's look all right. Oak, not the best for instruments. So Jacob in the Ghost says, house construction going? Doing well, we're moving along. They did some HVAC work, got that going, all the electric is done. In the front, we're waiting on some inspections right now. We'll have a bunch of progress next week as long as things are good, and we just finally got our permit for the parking lot, so we're gonna get that going too. Still waiting on Comcast though, so come on, City of Denver, if you're, Mayor Hancock, if you're watching, because I know you probably do, you know, I'm sure he's probably in his office right now watching us.
Oh, yeah.
Please, talk to the people and issue our permit for the Comcast. We need it.
Better if you know, yeah, Mayor Hancock or anybody in the Denver
Yeah.
Building Department.
Right, or if you're a friend of Mayor Hancock's, please.
Yes. Anybody that can speed this up in any way.
In any way.
Yeah.
This may result in a vote.
Yeah.
If you want my vote.
Oh, yeah, there you go, yeah. If you want to
Yeah.
secure our vote.
Yeah, if you want to secure our
Here,
vote,
I'll throw mine on there too.
maybe get that, maybe push that through for us, all right?
Yeah. You know, if that permit just happens to find its way to the top, you know,
We won't ask any questions, yeah. All right. We gotta go. What?
Yeah.
I saw Amanda Coombs is in there somewhere too. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Amanda.
Just in time for us to leave.
Yes. Yeah. It's not because of you, but you know.
Yeah, it's not because of you. We love you. You're awesome. But we got to go. Go check out the guys over at Texas Toast Guitars. They are going to be live streaming right about now-ish because it's 5 o'clock.
Yes.
So we will catch you guys next week. No this.
Yeah, no plastic wrap.
Spooky stuff.
Unless you guys want some plastic wrap, but.
Yeah. Is that like, it's like mumble wrap?
Yeah, plastic wrap.
It's like
yeah.
bubble wrap?
Yeah, it's
All right, we got to go. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Ah! Ah! Yeah, all that stuff.